Hi guys, my name's Reagan and I'm your Feline Pathway Coordinator at the Humane Society of the Treasure Coast in Palm City, Florida. Today we're going to be talking about bringing a new cat home, whether it's an adopted cat or a foster cat. We're going to be talking about how every cat's an individual, what to expect when you bring them home, how to get a safe space ready for them, and how to make them feel comfortable in your home. Our super special guest today is my foster kitty. She's pretty awesome, and she's going to help us show some of cat behaviors and demo some of the different toys and stuff that we have that we think might help your kiddos adjust to their new home. So, the first thing we want to talk about today is getting a safe space ready to bring a cat home to. Cats are really unique on the food chain where they are both a predator and a prey species. So they're hypersensitive to a lot of stuff. They can become really agitated because they are sensing so many things. I mean, it can take them a long time to calm down after they've been agitated. So if you can imagine being a cat that had a home that loved you for your whole life, and then you got brought to a shelter, which was really scary, and you had no idea why, and then somebody that seems pretty nice but you don't know them at all took you somewhere else, that's a lot of change and it can be really scary. So it's really important to remember that that cat's going through a lot, and even though you are their wonderful new family and you're going to be taking really good care of them, they have to learn that still. So it's important to make sure that they feel safe, and it's really important to remember that that can take a long time. Some cats are going to go home and they're going to be super comfortable, they're going to act like nothing happens, they're going to be social and fun and have no issues, and that's awesome, and for you guys, congratulations. But for most cats, that's not going to be the case, and it's important to remember that it can take months for cats to really become fully comfortable, and you'll hear that some pet parents even say that it can be a year or two when they see their new pet really showing new behaviors and doing things that they've never done before, like playing or doing things that really show how comfortable they are. So we want to get a safe space set up for them before we even bring them home. We usually recommend a bathroom. It's a really great small space, but not too small, so they have room to move around and explore a little bit. We want you to provide somewhere for them to hide, and a bathroom is a great place where there's not going to be somewhere dangerous for them to hide. So basically the smallest space that they're going to squeeze into in a bathroom is behind the toilet, and if we need to get them out from behind there, it would be not too difficult to do. If you were to put them in somewhere like a laundry room, they could squeeze behind a washer or dryer, between the washer and dryer. There's a lot of smaller spaces that they could wedge themselves into and get hurt. And a spare bedroom is great too, but just expect that there's a high probability that they'll hide under the bed and not come out for quite a while. And some cats do really enjoy digging a hole in the box spring and living up in there, which is going to be a pain in the butt for you. So a bathroom is a really great place to get set up for them. As you can see, we have our bathroom set up for our foster kiddo. We have a hiding spot there. That's the carrier that she came home in. This is a great tool because if they associate their carrier with somewhere safe, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to get them into a carrier for things like vet visits. So we have her carrier hide spot, her litter box is there, she's special needs, so she has a special litter box, and then some cozy stuff. We have a lot of toys for her, a bed, and she has plenty of room to move around and explore. So bathrooms are a really great place to set up. Like I said, a hiding spot is really, really important. Cats, like I said also, are both predator and prey, so they are in a really unique spot in the food chain where they need to feel safe, but they also need to be able to see what's going on. So having a really good hiding spot is important. My setup for this particular foster kiddo doesn't have any vertical space for her. That's because she's special needs. She has a spinal deformity, so she doesn't jump and she doesn't climb up on stuff at this time. If you have a normal cat, they'll want vertical space, so maybe they'll jump up on the toilet. Make sure you keep the toilet seat closed. That's really important. They might jump up on the counters, or like we have a raised bathtub that a normal kiddo could jump up on. Cats like to go high to feel safe, so if you provide somewhere appropriate for them to jump up high, that'll really help them feel comfortable as well. So we don't ever want to underestimate the power of a cat to hide. it's really, really important for them to be able to do that. That's a natural behavior for them. And one of our fun, quirky cat behaviors that we might mention later is that cats like to spy. So they'll find a cozy hiding spot where they feel like nobody can see them, but they can see out and spy on you. It's one of their fun hunting techniques that you'll see during playtime with them as well. So make sure they have a hide spot, and we want it to be a separate room where they have their own space. So if you have other pets, we don't want to introduce the other pets yet. This room isn't going to be for the other pets. We're going to get it all set up just for the kiddo. If it's a bathroom, it's fine if that's a bathroom that you use regularly or all the time. That'll give the cat some time to have some interaction with you, and a little bit of foot traffic, but not too much. So your room's all set up. You have food and water bowls, you have toys, you have a hiding spot. You're ready to go pick out your cat and bring them home. So when you bring your cat home, you're going to want to bring them straight to their safe space. You can have on calming music. We have some on now. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the video, but something like classical music, acoustic, something calm and low to help them to kind of tune out any scary sounds that might be happening. If you Google calming cat music, YouTube has a ton of videos. There's one that's 15 hours long that we use at the shelter all the time. It's wonderful. So if you have a computer in the room, you can set that up. They do sell calming cat music CDs. We actually have some for sale in the pet boutique at the shelter if anyone's interested. Or if you have a TV, like we have a TV in our bedroom that's attached to the bathroom that we just play Pandora on there. Or if you even have the music stations on your TV service, that works as well. So set it up to be nice and calm and quiet. Bring your kiddo straight to their safe room. You'll want to close the door so that they don't want to dart out immediately. Set up their hiding spot. If that's their carrier, great. Set it up in the little nook you've set aside for it. Or maybe it's a cardboard box or a kitty casa or something else safe for them to hide in. You can put their carrier by that and let them come out of the carrier and go to their hiding spot themselves. You don't want to drag a new cat out of its carrier or out of its safe space. That's going to be really stressful for it. So if you're having trouble, you can always use treats, maybe a laser pointer if you think they might be into laser pointers, or toys, a little hand wand toy or something like that. Something that's not going to terrify them, and it's not going to make them associate you with being super scary and dragging them out of a carrier as soon as they got to a new safe space. So when you introduce your new cat to your home, it's definitely something you want to do when you have plenty of time, and you're not going to have to rush yourself or the cat into feeling comfortable. Alrighty, so safe space is set up. Cat is in the safe space. Now what? We don't want you to rush into making the cat do things. So spend some quiet time with the cat. Encourage everyone in the household to do that one-on-one. Have quiet time with your new cat. With my foster kitten specifically, she's really comfortable with me. We have a great time. She comes out when I come to visit her, and we cuddle and we play, and it's wonderful. When my fiance comes in the room, she runs and hides because she hasn't had a lot of like one-on-one quiet time with him, and he can be a little bit scary for her. So make sure that you're letting everybody introduce themselves slowly and quietly to the cat. Play, offer treats, quiet petting, nothing big and loud and scary. And some cats, after the first day or two, that's going to be enough. They'll come out, they'll be really social with you, everything's great. Other cats, it might be a couple of weeks of an hour a day sitting on the floor with the cat. You can sit and scroll on your phone and be on Facebook or answer work emails. You don't have to be interacting with the cat for them to know that you're there and to start becoming comfortable with you. It's also important that you don't want to give your cat the ability to run out of the room out of fear. So when you have your safe space set up, we have double baby gates for our room. That helps to keep the dogs out and keep foster kiddo in. But a lot of cats will be able to jump over a baby gate, so you might need to just keep the door closed while they get comfortable. If a cat's ready to go out and explore, that's fine. You can let them do that on their own timeline. But if they're really nervous and fearful and trying to run out or dash out because they're scared, you don't want that, because they're going to run out of the room and try and find somewhere different to hide. And that's when you'll end up with cats wedged in tiny corners or somewhere unsafe. So you want to make sure that you keep the door closed. You also want to be really conscientious of keeping other doors closed. So say your cat does run out of their safe room, you don't want the front door to be immediately open and they run outside, or a window to be open without a screen, or even a screen that they might be able to push through pretty easily. So as you're introducing your cat to your home, just be really aware of any doors and windows and make sure that they're closed while your cat's exploring their new space. That's going to be important to keeping them inside and not letting them escape, because it's a new home, and if they go outside, they're not sure where they are, they don't know that you are their person, they're not used to their feeding schedule yet, any of that. So it's really important. You want to make sure your house is secure. Also be aware, if you haven't had a cat before, if you hadn't had a cat in a while, make sure that hazardous things are not out on counters or somewhere that cats are going to get to them. So be aware of all of the plants in your household. Things like Easter lilies and poinsettias can be really poisonous to pets, and you want to be aware of chemicals or even soaps, things that cats could get into that could be dangerous for them. So kind of evaluate before you let your cat free roam the house what kind of dangers might be there and mitigate that before they become an issue. One of the other big concerns that people have is introducing their existing pets to a new cat added to the home. So this is something that's also going to be really slow. You're going to take it one day at a time, and you want to make sure to do a proper slow introduction so that everyone gets off on the right foot. It is possible to have animals get along if they don't have appropriate introductions, but it's going to be a lot harder. So if you bring a brand new cat home, and you open its carrier immediately to your 4 really rambunctious dogs, and they all come up, even if they're happy and wiggle butts, but they're all coming up and sniffing and overwhelming, your new cat is now going to associate all of those dogs and their smells with, oh my gosh, this is so scary. Remember that time when I first came home? That was horrible. So you want to make sure you're doing slow introductions. So don't let your other pets into your cat's safe space. That's going to be at least for the first couple of weeks, unless your cat tells you otherwise that they appear comfortable and they're going to be okay with it. You want to start with scent swapping. So this is something really easy. Take your existing pet's blanket or a stuffed animal that they lay with or play with frequently, or even a brush that you use to brush them all the time that has their hair in it, and give that to your new cat so they can start getting used to the smell of your existing pet before they have to ever meet your existing pet. And you can do vice versa. Give your new kiddos bedding or blanket to your pet so that they can start getting used to that smell as well. That's going to be really important, and you're going to want to do that for the whole time that they're not with each other. So the first couple of weeks when you bring your new kiddo home, we always recommend a 2-week confinement period anyway, just in case your new pet might have any germs that we don't want to introduce to your existing pet. Right, so do scent swapping. Next, what you're going to want to do is, with the door closed for your cat's safe space, feed your kiddos on either side of the door. So give your new cat food right on the inside of the door and your existing pet food right on the outside of the door. And that's going to, again, introduce each other to smells and sounds of one another without actually having to meet each other yet. And it's in a positive context. So your animal likes eating and it's like, wow, when I smell this new cat that's on the other side of the door, I haven't seen him, but I get food when I'm around him, and that's great. And you can do the same thing with treats. So a higher value item, offer treats when they can smell the other animal. You can slowly start introducing them by, instead of having the door closed, maybe do a baby gate. They can see each other. If they are starting to have negative reactions, so for example, foster kitty here hates my dogs. When she sees them, she starts hissing and growling. You want to interrupt that behavior. So I move in front of her so she can't see the dogs. I tell her everything's okay, and we start playing with a toy. So she's a little bit distracted. She forgets that she thinks that was scary, and everything's fine. Introducing cats to other cats, if they're able to be in the same room with one another without having any negative interactions, start playing with them. So cats seeing other cats playing is something that'll help them be like, oh, this guy's cool, he likes to play too, we like the same kind of toys. So playing together is a great introduction, using tools like catnip and treats, high value food items, as long as everybody has their own and they're not guarding, that's going to be really important. You also want to make sure that even once your cat's safe space is opened up and they have free roam of the house, you have separate food, water, and litter box for your new cat. Everybody needs to be able to have their own resources, so nobody feels like they need to be guarding anything. Another tool that you can use for cats is cat pheromones. So there are products like Feel Away that have happy cat pheromones. There's diffuser, sprays, wipes. Sentry has collars, pheromone collars, and that releases into the air happy cat pheromones. So the cats smell it and think, oh, I must be happy. There's happy cat pheromones here. And that really helps keep everybody calm when they think that all of the other cats around them are happy. So that can be a really important tool. There's also calming sprays that are based in lavender and things like that. What we personally recommend at HSTC are pheromones from Feel Away and Sentry. Another tool that's really helpful in helping cats become comfortable is routine. So feeding everybody at the same time every day, having the same interactions every day. So if every day at 6 p.m. you have dinner and then at 7:30 you have half an hour of playtime with the cat, or even if it's before they're ready to have playtime, if at 7:30 every day you go and sit in the cat's room and check your emails or scroll through Facebook, routine is going to be really helpful in making them feel comfortable and like they know what to expect, and that's going to help them come out of their shell a lot. Cats can be spontaneous and fun, but having a routine that they know they can stick to is really helpful for them to start being comfortable. It is important to make sure that your new cat is eating and drinking, which sometimes can be hard to tell if they're hiding most of the time or not coming out when you're in the room. Sometimes they're just snacking, so they'll be eating a couple bites of food, not something that you're really noticing, and that can be worrisome to you because you don't think that they're eating. So if that's happening, you can start measuring their food or giving them only a tiny bit so it's much more noticeable to see if they're eating. So just give them a small bit at a time. It's not abnormal for a cat to go a few days without eating when they first come home if they're really stressed. If they're still pooping, then stuff is still working through their system. If they're still peeing, they're still getting water. So those are all things that you want to be pretty aware of in the first couple of weeks to make sure that your kiddo is staying healthy. If you go more than a few days without eating, it'll be worth calling your vet to see if they want to get them in for an appointment to make sure that everything's okay. We don't want them to get nauseous or to get an upset stomach from not eating for too long, and your vet can go over all of your options with you as far as making sure that they receive treatment if they need it, and to make sure that they continue eating moving forward. If you notice kiddos not eating, offer high-value foods, treats like Temptations. Very few cats can resist a Temptation. Wet cat food, even baby food, something more appealing to them, because if they're really nervous, they might be less likely to eat. But give it time, don't stress out about it too much, and just keep a close eye on what their intake is. You can measure their food or measure their water if you're really worried about it. And you can see if they're eating that way. So when you bring your new kiddo home, make sure they're eating, drinking, peeing, and pooping. So one thing that's really important to remember is that not every cat is going to be a cuddler. Some cats are never going to be cuddlers, but a lot of cats are not going to be cuddlers when they first come home. Cats are pretty independent critters, which is part of what we love about them. And while it is awesome to be able to go up to your cat and smush her little face and give her kisses on her nose and just pick her up and cuddle her, a lot of cats do not like that. That puts them in a pretty vulnerable position, and it's not fun for them. So you need to respect whatever body language or even verbalizations your cat is giving you to recognize what they are and are not comfortable with. If a cat's flattening its ears, growling, hissing, has their hair on their back up, if they're flicking their tail angrily or looking at you with a side eye, all of those things can be signs that your cat's uncomfortable, so don't push it. If your cat's communicating to you that they're not comfortable, back up, give them their space, and let them come to you. That's going to be really important when introducing a new cat, is always let them come to you, let them do things on their own time, and that you will find will help you guys adjust better to one another moving forward. If they feel comfortable, then they'll start opening up to you more. So some people think that their cats don't like to play, and that's not usually the case. There are a lot of different cat toys on the market, and a lot of cats just have a particular toy that they like the most. So try out all kinds of different toys with your cat. Just because they don't like the jingly ball doesn't mean that they don't want to play. We have all kinds of different toys, like jingly balls, right? Super fun. We also have crinkle toys, which cats really love. And we have kickers, so something fabric like a stuffed animal, and you can put catnip on or in it, and they hold on to it and kick it with their back feet, and that's a really fun and normal activity for cats. We also have dangling toys, which are good to help cats practice hunting, right? And we have scratchers. So scratchers are super important. That's going to keep your cat's nails healthy, but it's also that's a really natural behavior that cats want to do to leave their scent and to help their nails, and it's really important for cats to be able to have different stuff to scratch on. You might even notice too, cardboard scratchers are great, but there are carpet ones. We have pieces of yoga mat that kiddos love to scratch on, all kinds of different textures. So evaluate all kinds of different toys to see what your cat likes to play with. This little munchkin likes to play with most of them. Also, don't forget to get your new cat a collar. It's important that it is a breakaway collar so that if it gets caught on anything, it breaks away and it doesn't choke the cat. And you want to get a tag for it with contact information. So if your cat does ever get out and somebody finds it, they'll be able to reunite Kitty with you a lot sooner. All of the cats from HSTC are microchipped, and you want to make sure to keep the microchip information up to date. But to get a CAT scan for microchip, animal control or a vet's office has to be involved. So if they have a collar with a tag, then whoever finds them can just check the tag out and give you a call ASAP. So don't forget to get a collar. You can even get a fun matching set. This kiddo's collar matches my scrunchie here, so that's always something fun. And that's an important part of cat ownership too, is to make sure your kiddo gets a collar. In review, set up a safe space for your cat before they even come home. Somewhere confined that there's nowhere dangerous for them to get stuck, with a really good hiding spot and all of their own resources, including litter box, food, water, toys, and a bed. Number 2, take your time. Don't rush the cat, don't rush yourself. Give them time to get comfortable and to realize that everything's okay. It can take days, sometimes it's weeks, for some cats it's months, but just be patient. Every cat deserves somebody that's willing to take the time to love it and let it come around on its own terms. So give them time. Number 3, take your time introducing new pets. Don't rush that at all. Make sure that you wait an appropriate amount of time to really introduce them, and even once they are introduced, give them time to figure out their dynamic. Hissing is normal. That's a communication tool that cats have. They're going to be sending out body language to the other pets that the other pets are reading that you may not even notice. So let them do that. Let them hiss. As long as nobody's attacking each other, everything's okay. Let them communicate. Take it slow, give them time, and if things aren't going well, take a break. Bring new kiddo back to her safe space, let everybody calm down, and try again the next day. Don't forget that every cat's an individual. Some cats are going to like snuggling, and some cats are never going to want that. So read their body language, and don't push a cat to do something that it's not comfortable doing. And don't forget to play. Cats love to play. Try all different kinds of toys. Offer treats, offer catnip, and just make sure they know that you're nice and a safe person to be around and that they can trust you. Always make sure that when you're introducing cats to a home with other cats, that everybody has their own resources. Keep separate food, water, and litter boxes, sleeping areas, and vertical space. Forever is great, but at least until they're getting along and you know that nobody's guarding resources and preventing any of the other cats from accessing food or water or the litter box or even toys. Overall, it's important to know your cat. So this little foster munchkin absolutely loves to be held. She loves to be snuggled. She even enjoys being on her back. She has a little tail flick, which is normal for her with her spinal deformity, but this is something that she really enjoys. She loves to play, she loves to snuggle, she loves interacting with people, she really craves it. She wasn't this way at the very beginning, and she's still not this way with other people. So it's just something that you have to take it really slow. Read your cat's emotions, read their body language to see what they're saying to you, and take it slow. Give them time to be who they are. And if you don't have a cat that's a cuddler, try other things like letting them just sit on the couch with you while you watch TV. Play with them with different kinds of toys until you find one that they like. Use all of your toys like treats and like catnip, right? And even try something like brushing. So our kiddo prefers a comb. So even try different kinds of brushes and things, different kinds of things to help you bond with your cat and to make them feel comfortable in their new home. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to us. You can call the shelter anytime at 772-223-8822. And you can email the cat care team at catfoster@hstc1.org. We'd love to help you. We are happy to answer any of your questions, and we always want to try and help cats stay in their home and help you guys understand how to help them adjust better. So let us know if you have any questions at all. You can also drop them in the comment slot down here on Facebook once the video is over, and we will be happy to answer those for you. Thanks for tuning in.